everyone has heard of this game by now, the one that went on to take more awards than any other game ever at the Video Game Awards. At this point, you've probably seen the headlines, the clips, the praise, and the think pieces. But instead of just repeating the same talking points, I figured you might like to hear another satisfied player's story, why this game is actually worth your time. Because on paper, this sounds like a hard sell. An indie studio, a turn based combat system, a mechanic many people associate with old JRPGs, the kind of things some players see and immediately turn the other way. And yet, somehow, this small team found a way to breathe new life into turn based combat, modernize it without losing its soul, and make something that feels both nostalgic and exciting in 2026. Let's talk about how it looks. This is the very first thing that's going to grab you, and it does not let go. Claire Obscura Expedition 33 has vibe. The kind of vibe where you'll constantly find yourself stopping mid-path, not because the game tells you to, but because you're genuinely distracted by the world. The environments feel hand-sculpted, like every background was designed with intention. There's this painterly quality to everything, soft, moody lighting mixed with striking contrasts, and it all feels drenched in atmosphere. Nothing looks procedural. Nothing feels cheap. You can tell a ridiculous amount of care and love went into every scene, and that attention to detail does a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to immersion. It's not just pretty, it's memorable. How does it play? Oh, don't even get me started. This game delivers some of the most rewarding gameplay I've experienced in recent memory. It immediately reminded me of Super Mario RPG, not because it copies it, but because it understands the same fundamental truth. Turn-based combat doesn't have to be passive. Timed button presses can mean the difference between taking full damage, pulling off a clean dodge, or squeezing out extra power from an attack. Then there's the parry mechanic, which is absolutely for the brave. High risk, high reward. Miss the timing and you're punished, but nail it and the satisfaction is unreal. Every battle demands your attention. You're never just selecting commands and zoning out. You're engaged, reacting, and actively participating in every turn. And I loved that. Add on top of that the spectacle of the attack animations, the sound design, and the sense of impact, and combat never once felt stale. Not even close. How does it actually work? What really elevates the gameplay and what gives it real depth is the Lumina system. As characters master equipable skills called Pictos, they can then equip those effects passively as Lumina. And here's the kicker. There are over 200 Lumina in the game. That means character building isn't just deep, it's flexible. You can optimize for raw damage, survivability, utility, or wild hybrid builds that completely change how a character plays. While certain characters naturally lean towards specific roles, I found myself experimenting constantly, reshaping builds depending on the situation. No one ever felt locked into a single playstyle. Figuring out how to bring out the best in each party member became a game in itself, and it never stopped being fun. How does it feel? This is where the game really surprised me. The story hits hard, right from the jump. There's no slow warm-up, no waiting hours for things to matter. It pulls you in emotionally almost immediately. There are moments that genuinely caught me off guard, and the game isn't afraid to sit with its emotions. Loss, hope, sacrifice, it all lands in a way that feels earned, not manipulative. I won't spoil anything, but the overall presentation gives off a cinematic weight that reminded me of the opening of The Last of Us. That same feeling of, oh, this is serious. There are absolutely heart-wrenching moments here, and if you let yourself get invested, this game will stick with you long after the credits roll. How it lands. When you step back and look at everything together, the visuals, the combat, the systems, the story, it becomes really easy to see why this game took home Game of the Year. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 doesn't just do one thing well, it does a lot of things wonderfully, and somehow all of it comes together into something genuinely special. If you're looking for a nostalgic JRPG feel that doesn't feel dated, deep, engaging combat that respects your skill, a beautiful world you actually want to explore, and a story that isn't afraid to hit you in the chest, then yeah, you owe it to yourself to play this. I give Clair Obscure Expedition 33 a 9.8 out of 10, and I can't recommend it enough.